Hello, everybody. Welcome to the New Era podcast. I am Irina Heloise. We look forward to having Illumin8 on tonight with Patti Lombardo and Suzanne Brooks. They will be talking about energy healing, Reiki, wellness, and their new program called Decide to Be Well. They run it through Illumin8. That's illuminatohio.com. And we're gonna talk a little bit about everything and get into some shenanigans. So I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna bring them on stage right now. Hello, Patti. Hello, Suzanne. Susie. I went all professional again, even though I asked which name you want to use. Welcome. You want to introduce yourselves? Let us know which one's Patti, which one is Susie.
I'm Patti.
I'm Susie.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining. First, I want to start by asking you one. It looks like you're sitting in the what I know as Illumin8. Can you tell us a little bit about Illumin8 and how it got started?
Or Illumin8 was a dream that I had, the wellness center, for probably the last 6-7 years. And I just found that I had a voice, that people asked questions at the fairs that I hosted, the psychic fairs, which this is our 15th year, October here.
Of which I'm proudly a part of.
Thank you. Thank you. And people would just ask me questions after their readings, like someone said I should get Reiki. Someone said I should try yoga or meditation. Do you know where I can take classes? And it just started something ticking in my head. And I said, you know what? I want this to be full circle wellness, mind, body, soul. So it was my goal to open the business and find good people to call my family to work with me. And that's where we ended up. And we're here. This is our 4th year here at Illumin8 in Concord.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. How about you, Suzanne? How did you join Illumin8?
I joined Illumin8. This is my 2nd year as my anniversary. And
Happy anniversary.
And I was a Reiki practitioner at the time and wanted to share Reiki in a space that would be supportive, to have clients, and to be a real beautiful, peaceful place. I came here for a class. And then my friend Dawn asked Patti, do you have any space for Susie to do a Reiki? And she's like, oh, I happen to have our opening right now. So the rest has been history.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Especially when you see the connection, the chemistry, and the support that you have for each other. It shows the energy of Illumin8 in itself. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so you're both Reiki masters, correct? So
Correct.
Everybody has a journey. Everybody has some type of thing that leads them in the direction of, energy healing or spiritual types of work, alternative healing. Can you share with us your path, what led you both into this area?
Sure. Susie's making me go first.
Go ahead.
Good.
I actually got into Reiki. I honor my sister Joanne, who passed away. And I found myself doing Reiki on her naturally, not knowing what it was. And at that time that my sister passed away, within a handful of months of that, I was laid off from a job that I'd had. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out and learn something for fun besides going back to school for work purposes. And Reiki kept coming up in my mind, almost like a calling. So the rest is pretty much history. I got online, I looked up Reiki in Menor, I met Judy McCracken, and I was fast-tracked. I learned everything in a year's time, and I was her 500th student, for which I'm quite proud of. And I served over 200 people in 1 year's time working at a salt cave. And I was on New Day Cleveland.
Oh, congratulations.
And at this point right now, I have taught 70 students since we've opened Illumin8, and I co-host that with Rachel Keaton.
Awesome. A lot of experience there.
You.
Yes. And my Reiki journey started a little differently. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for over 35 years. And I know I've been a nurse and a energy healer in past lives too. And I experienced Reiki for myself and at work sometimes, and it would just help me just to feel so calm when you're just so busy. And I also realized I hold space for others, my patients, and that energy is there. And the Reiki was also part of, like Patty said, our hands-on, when you touch somebody with compassion. So Reiki just interests me. And I also learned Reiki from one of Judy's daughters of Reiki at Hillcrest. And I went on to be a Reiki master with Patti, and started seeing clients at Illumin8, and just expanded by having Reiki shares with the community, supporting Reiki practitioners as they go through the class with Patti. Then I will have Reiki shares for practitioners, and we'll learn Reiki meditations and hold energy together and then share Reiki with each other. I really love Reiki. I love energy.
That's awesome. So you did mention something. You said something about Hillcrest, and Hillcrest is a part of the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, the health system. Is that correct?
True, yes.
So that you're an RN through the Cleveland Clinic, and Patti was also involved with a program that jump-started the program through the Cleveland Clinic. Can you explain that to us a little bit? And the Cleveland Clinic, if nobody knows, is one of the largest hospitals in the country, worldwide. It's known worldwide. It's famous especially for the heart program, correct?
That's correct.
And they've adopted Reiki practice. They actually have a department at the Cleveland Clinic. So if you can give us a little bit more information, a little more detail.
Sure. So I was part of 65 women. And we all worked for Judy McCracken, and it was called Reiki Rays of Hope for Caregivers Incorporated. And what we found was while patients needed taken care of, so did the people who were taking care of them. As you know, you can't work from a half empty cup. So we pioneered with people with dementia, special needs children, because Judy worked in special needs. She was an educator for that. Again, there were 65 of us, and we gave Reiki to everybody. We received a grant, and whether you were a janitor or a doctor, we gave you Reiki. We gave 10 to 15-minute treatments, and we did that for about 3 years. I myself worked in Ahuja, and it was a beautiful program. And what it did was it opened up the avenue for integrative medicines then in those hospitals, as well as to nursing homes. Those places are still active today. So I am extremely proud to be part of this group. And that is what I carry on in my teachings with my students. Be proud of your lineage because we started it.
That's amazing.
And that's, you mentioned Ahuja. That also reminds me that it's not just the Cleveland Clinic. There's also a Ahuja Medical Center for university hospitals, as well as well, I don't know if they have one for Metro, but Metro is also involved in Reiki now and in these types of programs. And it was the foundation for all of their programs, or helping all of their programs get started.
Help their program get started. Correct. We did Metro as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. And, that's a testament to, the level of professionalism and education that Illumin8 offers. It's not just, you walk in and, somebody says, hey, we're going to try and help you, or we're going to try to heal you, but they don't have the background to offer that. And so it's very, in my mind, in my opinion, it's very responsible of you to want to take the health and well-being of another person, but to also make sure that you have the educational background and the support to do it correctly, to do it in a healthy way, to do it where it's not doing any harm to anyone. It's only healing. And I feel like that is exceptional, and that's what makes Illumin8 different from the rest. And I mean, if please do share why, you know, why that is important to you as well, why having that professional background and that care and that understanding for others is a foundation for Illumin8. And who else helps the Illumin8 program?
So we have Susie.
Mhm.
I would say that almost everybody who works here has higher education, and a lot of them are nurses. Patty Todd works here. She's a nurse for I don't know how many years, and she does pain management. My massage licensed massage person is Wendy, and Wendy went to school for 3 years. She's not a fly by night, LMT. She went to school extra so that she would know more things. I want you to be able to come here and affordably seek treatment for anywhere from $10 for support groups to $50 for treatments instead of going to your doctor, which I have nothing against Western medicine. We go together now, but you're going to pay probably $100 for a copay, where you could come here and receive more, and you're receiving it from our heart. You're
And
not,
that's if insurance helps cover it.
and you're just a number on a chart. We're here, you're a person, and you become part of our family. And I'm quite proud of that we have created a family.
It is indeed. And I feel that's something special about Illumin8 because it is. I walk in the doors and I feel like I'm part of a family, that I have support. It is a space that truly supports everyone within the space.
Thank
And
you.
that's the quality of not only the program that I'm about to ask you about, but the professionals that work within Illumin8 and the mediums. It's a testament to not to embarrass you, Patty, but to Patty's hard work.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
So a lot of trial and error too, right?
First 2 years weren't that easy.
So you talk about how you wanted to give affordable help to others, a type of wellness program, and that program is called Decide to Be Well.
Yes.
Could you give us a little bit more background and information, one, of how it got started, and to also describe the program for us?
Sure.
Well, it's interesting how this came about. The Decide to Be Well program was actually started in a spiritual setting through a seance. Judy McCracken and who was it? Peggy Rogers. She led the seance, and the guides from the other side wanted an alternative to the traditional medical pharmacology healthcare setting. And the guides from the other side are Native Americans, and they guided us to have meetings. And I came on board after the group was initially set and formally invited. The group is very professional. We have one psychologist, one physician, many nurse practitioners, nurses, educators, and business owners. And we all also, on the other side, we had a seance, and we all had spirit guides to support us in this journey. We all have a white name to our guide. Mine is White Willow, and Patty is
White light.
White Light. And some are like White Dog, White Bear, White Pine, to support us in this. So we all would meet, and we knew that we wanted people to take their own responsibility for their health, and also to use their own intuition regarding their health. Buddy Ann Ross is one of the practitioners on the board, and she's a certified holistic nurse and Reiki master too. She set us up with this amazing video of self-discovery about wellness. And what it does, it helps every person that comes in our class develop a plan for themselves. It's based on John Travis's, who's a medical doctor. He was tired of making his patients sick. So he decided to start a wellness program. And it's based on his model that wellness is a choice, it's a way of life, process, a developing awareness, and the integration of the body, mind, and spirit, and the loving acceptance of self. And she's got a beautiful video that goes through all the types of wellness, like responsibility, breathing, sensing, eating, moving, feeling, thinking, playing and working, communicating, intimacy, finding meaning, and transcendence. So it helps people that come to the class really take a overview look of themselves and their life and find balance in self-care and honoring yourself.
Yeah, we planned for over a year this course. And this course comes with a manual, and it's what, 4 hours? We're
Mhm.
4 hours long,
Yes.
$50. How could you not want to take it?
I agree.
So Patty, you want to talk about what Decide to Be?
Well, wait, it's not just, it's not just that 1 4 hour course. It's actually more than that. You also offer like meetings, groups, following the people that have taken the course.
Correct. So Susie heads that up. She does a once a month support group, support and development. They've made it fun. They made craft journals to follow their progress. They give each other boosts. You're doing a great job, or, oh, maybe you're having a hard time here. Let's all get together, and how could we help this person keep going? It's very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, oh, here you go, here's the information.
Yeah.
It's really, we're going to try and stay with you, and hopefully you stay on this journey.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's also a empowerment Facebook group too, where you could get, if you had a question or you had an issue, you could post that and get answers, or just get support and encouragement, and also just positive affirmations or other videos that support you in your journey of wellness.
And that Decide to Be Well group is called Decide to Be Well on Facebook. So somebody can search it and find it, or you're invited if you take the course.
You're
Yeah.
invited when you take the course.
Okay. So that's good incentive to take the course.
Yeah.
To have a support system as well on top of everything else. Okay. So you wanted to, so before I asked you to give a little bit more information on the groups that followed taking the 4 hour class, you Susie asked Patti if she can describe a little bit more of the program. So if you could please, describe it for us, that would be great.
So it's Decide to Be Well. Elevate your health status, change your beliefs and perceptions, identify your intervention plan, daily implement of your plan, evaluate and track your progress. That's what Decide to Be Well stands for.
It seems to me like it is one, a first step into changing behavior patterns, changing things about our lives that we struggle with, our health, our mindset. And that's the first step to overall well-being. So if our mind isn't there, just like in the paranormal world and in the spirit world as mediums, if our minds aren't present, if the work isn't here, then everything else shows. We have paranormal activity. If there's unrest, you have medium has difficulty connecting, or the sitter may have a difficulty connecting with the medium. So in the spiritual world, it helps not only in the physical world. So it's kind of, if you're somebody that isn't into, energy healing as a spiritual practitioner, or somebody that does mediumship, even in the paranormal, to understand what you're walking into in a healthy way and not have it overtake you in a negative way, having that foundation is in that, and from something like the program is very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so true, because in the spiritual world, we need to be grounded here. And when we take care of our bodies, we have nutrition, We move our bodies, and we're also calming our mind, like through breath work or meditation. It makes us just a stronger human and able to connect to spirit at the same time.
Yeah. And also, okay, so here's a question. So I've heard Reiki practitioners talk about how they can also intuitively connect with the sitter or connect with spirit or spirit guides as they work. Can you explain a little bit of that to me? Can you tell me how that works?
I think that over time, the more Reiki you do, and the first thing you have to remember is when I'm doing Reiki on a client, it is not me doing it. I am channeling. I'm channeling the higher, whatever you would like to call it. And I call in my team, and they're all healers, and they come and they help me. Mine in particular are Native American. They can be seen sometimes walking around in the room while I'm working by myself. And sometimes some of my clients will say, "Oh, I felt hands here and here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. That was me, but I don't know who that was." And sometimes when you tune into their energy and you get so deep into them, you can feel things. Intuitively, I can feel maybe someone has an injury here, but sometimes I can feel through their heart, something deeper that's going on. And so I try to help that lift and remove that for them. I've so much as, I helped somebody. One time I actually kind of like zoned out and I saw this snowstorm coming at me and I thought, gosh, what is that? Here she had just been in a car accident the month before. And I actually visually saw that accident. I kept seeing an evil eye for another girl, and she got a tattoo the next week on her hand. And it was this huge evil eye, and she had it. I think it just kind of all intertwines. It's all spirit, and it's a gift from up above. That's my thought. I don't know.
And as Patti talked about, the Reiki practitioner and maybe the psychic impressions that we get, I also hold space for the energy of the client. And I encourage them to go into a deeper dive within themselves. And a lot of them will see their own guides. They'll get their own visions or revelations about themselves or their health, or even just hope to be well, or to have peace, letting go of anger, letting go of worry,
Sadness.
the grief, right? And just feeling like your best self, and you're just shining from within because you're connected to the divine through that Reiki energy.
It's just beautiful.
It really is. It really is.
It's interesting too, because you talk about, working with somebody who is alive, but in the spiritual world too, when you step into any space that has spirit, or when you're speaking with spirit, you have to have the same approach, like, at least in my opinion. I don't know what you think, if you like that same type of healing approach. What are your thoughts on that when you go into spaces that you believe may have a lot of spirit, or like, I know, I'm talking from the mediumship perspective, but what are your thoughts on that?
Going in like this.
I just have a lot of respect.
Yeah,
I just like,
But it's a good practice. I mean, it's a good way. One, if somebody's coming to you and getting that healing, they also get the ability to be able to heal out in other spaces. And so I think it's entirely possible for the paranormal world to have that same experience. So even though Patty's terrified of it.
You're right, Irene. Because Reiki does heal on all dimensions.
It does.
And it heals ancestral lines. And you're right, there's other people in the room, receiving Reiki at the same time, I'm sure.
Okay, so I know we're kind of talking a little more about Reiki, but Christine Burke asks, who's the ideal candidate for the Decide to Be Well program? So I want to answer that question before we kind of go more into something else.
Or, really anybody.
Anyone, yeah.
Anyone.
You can have chronic illnesses. You could just have feeling stuck in your life, or you can't get to your health goals. It could be anyone, yeah.
Do you find that a lot of illnesses are also caused by just, perspective, positive thinking, negative thinking? Do you think that affects some people Like, so if you're a negative thinker, you have a lot more stress. Stress can affect your body in ways that appear to be manifest similar to other sicknesses.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that well when you said stress, right? It's how we handle stress, the stress of life. There always is stress, but it's how you handle it. And like you said, your positive thinking versus your negative thinking.
So important.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And a lot of people just, we do get caught up in thought patterns. And sometimes when you take a look at it like from the outside and look at ways to change those patterns, you start to let like more light in. You start to think more positively, and letting go of those old programs that you have or we have as humans.
That's beautiful. So, for me also, so to kind of go back to the more the paranormal, because we are a paranormal show, so I want to talk a little bit about that negativity. So things will manifest in a space based on what we call them, like poltergeist or a PK manifestation or something like that, where the energy of the individual causes paranormal activity. Do you have any thoughts on how that could possibly happen based on Reiki experience or any other type of experience you've had?
I just think in general, I think when we are in a negative thought pattern, expose ourselves to negative things, we attract that energy to us. And you're saying it definitely could manifest as an entity or something that is around you or even part of yourself and not even know it. Go ahead.
I think that the building is blessed, if I can say that. And when you walk through the doors, I don't think you feel anything but love and light. And I don't worry about anything like that. There could be a negative person that comes through the door, but we help them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have anything bad here. We're blessed, and a lot of the people who work with me make sure that the place stays blessed and safe. So I'm very thankful for that as well.
But what about other spaces? We know Illumin8's great, but how do you feel about other spaces that maybe aren't?
Like if you went to
Oh, I would cry.
She's not kidding, everybody. She's
You know that in my teens, I worked at a haunted house for 3 years.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Are you kidding me?
At all.
And you're still scared?
Yeah, they're going to jump. One of these days, I'm going to go on your haunted tour.
So I'm seeing, Chris Clardy, Olivia, they're jumping on, they're saying hello, they're talking about the space. So I can't talk about Illumin8. We can go back to a little more of the Reiki and everything without talking about your mediums, your fabulous group of mediums.
I think hands down, and I'm not exaggerating, I truly feel like I have the most trusted, the best mediums, loving, kind-hearted, like-minded. They go out of their way to help people. It is something I am so incredibly proud of. I mean, the American Bar Association hired us last year, okay?
Yes.
And lawyers and prosecutors. And for me, that was just this huge moment. It was an aha moment. Danica helped me at the desk, and we just sat there going, wow, whole night is just, it was magic. And I love when people call me and say, oh my gosh, we saw such and such at a show, can you do this for us? Can you do a house party? Can we come up there? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got somebody for you right away. I mean, I can't tell you how many text messages, calls, emails that I get every single day. I am only as good as the people I surround myself with. So actually, I thank you because you make me look good.
I try. I do my best. It's not that hard. So I don't have to work that hard to make you look good. So, and you believed in, all of us, quite honestly, but
Right.
I could speak from my own experience. You believed in me before, there's only a small number of people that did that. And so you believed in me before anybody else had, knew who I really was in the world. So that says a lot. That says, how, well, I'm just going to say, how to pick the best.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
do that.
I'm just kidding. So, but it's you, but you do, you want to look for, that drive, that talent, that ability, and that sincerity in your people. And it's starting to really show, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the mediums have heart here.
They do.
And they connect to spirit. They connect to higher guides. And you just feel that healing when you get a reading. I love them all. They're just amazing. And the classes are amazing too on mediumship.
You can take
Highly,
me
highly
So
wherever.
tell us about them.
So we have mediumship with Lynn Keller Monday nights, Stephen Mara on Wednesday nights, and Chris Clarity, she does them on Fridays. And then Tim Brainerd, who's been doing this, like, I don't know, 50,
100 years now.
100,
99.
you know, last Wednesday of every month. I always say, try all 4 of them, see which one resonates with you. They're all different and they're all wonderful. And everybody has the ability. So come down and learn, open yourself up. I love nothing more than meeting somebody and seeing their potential. Like when I threw you up on the stage at Lilydale with Chris, and you're both sitting there scared. And I was like,
Yeah.
you
Well,
can
so if anybody knows, Lilydale is, it's,
feel.
yeah. So it's considered, if you go and you deliver messages at Lilydale, it's considered an honor. So, and you sit outside in the forest, right? And there's what, 200,
Plus,
300 people sitting from like little park benches all lined up like they're in a little auditorium looking at you, so you're in this place, you're very intimidated, and then you have 200 to 300 people looking at you waiting for a reading, and and you have a time limit. So
but
Patty's like, here, go.
you can do it. And you did. And you guys, and I was so proud. I'm like, those are Illumin8 readers.
Right.
Yeah. And then because I want to make sure I notate Olivia. Olivia's new to Illumin8. She'll be working
Yes.
this Sunday. Fantastic.
Olivia's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yes, I agree. And also Chris, the animal
Yeah.
medium. So she's the animal psychic. So she also does humans.
Yes.
We won't forget about the humans, but she does animal blessings through Illumin8 as well.
Correct. Her and Danielle just did it this weekend.
Oh yeah, Danielle too.
Yeah. Chris did the messages, the communication. Danielle did beautiful Reiki on the animals. And then I had Father Seaford here, and he blessed all the animals. It was a beautiful day. It's the second time we've had them. So it worked out really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay. So Illumin8 has a lot of different events. So we do mediumship readings at different locations. And also like you talked about the mediumship events that are happening within Illumin8, but can you share a little bit, like there's a lot more going on at Illumin8 than just, hopefully there'll be an intro to paranormal class here in the next couple months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But like, hopefully we'll have that. We'll sneak that in there at some point. But introduction to paranormal investigation. But for this month, and we want to talk about what's going on at Illumin8 for this month and upcoming.
Sure. So what we have too is Jill Chicago. She's wonderful. She does. So we're so diverse. She does A Course in Miracles. No book needed. It's a discussion. We also have Stephen Mara. He does the empath support and development group. That's very popular. We also have John Seitz, and John's doing it's paint pouring over craft pumpkins so that you'll have them for years to come. And that's actually this weekend. That's a lot of fun. So we do a lot of different paint and
Both
sip.
both very good, but both very good intuitives as well. But he's also a great artist, and you could see that within his work.
Yeah. We have sacred women's circles with Jenna. Anthony also has sound healing circles. And then we bring in actually acts from all over entertainment. I'm very proud of. It's called Harper and Midwest Kind, and they're doing a didgeridoo sound therapy and sound bath experience. They come from Australia. I mean, they're wonderful. And we're their only stop in Ohio that they come to. So I'm so when people call me and say, hey, I would love to come to your place and do something. It's just very humbling.
It is amazing.
It's very flattering. Next month, you said what's coming up next month? Danielle's hosting. She does Herb of the Month, which is really neat way to, you can go out and forage and find things to, take a tea and make yourself feel better with a headache or, things like that, helping you sleep. And then we're going to start book club again. And she's doing the book called Signs. So we'll be starting that as well. We have Gem Club. Gem Club every month you get a new
very
surprise.
Popular class.
That's huge and it sells out. Sound baths with Danielle.
Yeah, that's really, and Reiki share
About that.
So yeah,
Danielle.
I have Danielle Fitzgerald, who also is a Reiki master, and she is my half here of sharing a Reiki share. And that's been one of my dreams, is to bring Reiki to the community. Sometimes people don't have time for a full session, or they want to try what Reiki is. And what we do is we just have this amazing experience every other Tuesday evening. We'll do a meditation together. Some are guided meditations, like our meditations with fairies or ancestors, and some are Reiki meditations where we channel energy ourselves.
They're beautiful.
And then we go around and share Reiki with everyone here, and then we close with a sound bath. And we're also expanding to the libraries, gonna share the joy of Reiki and healing to that. And also we have an amazing yoga program here.
Yes, Christine and Sue.
Yes.
They're wonderful. And we're also at Quail Hollow now. We're at the country club. So we do psychic fairs there as well as the sound baths.
Yes.
Quail Hollow is east of Cleveland.
On the other end of my plaza.
So Concord, Ohio, correct? Mm-hmm. You also do mediumship events at other places. Can you talk about the different places and also the seances that are coming up as well?
Yeah, so Grand River Cellars, that's always a fun. I think I've been with Grand River 10 years now. Of them. So we see them about every 3 months. And we have seances. They are sold out this year. And Irene is working that with Chris Clarity.
Yes.
We have 24 people per night. We're doing 2 Thursdays.
That's awesome.
We have a show this Sunday at Spring Hill Winery in Geneva. And then at the end of the month, we're back at Grand River for an actual show. We do Spirit Winery in Willoughby. And we also are branching out to Stonegate Winery. I don't know. I'm trying to think where else. We do a lot of private in-home things as well.
That's awesome. A lot of events going on, so lots of opportunities to participate. And a lot of the events that the wineries that she's talking about are that Patti is talking about are between Cleveland and Geneva area. Would you say like that? Okay, Ohio, Cleveland and Geneva, Ohio. So, is there anything you offer online or that people can connect with Illumin8?
You definitely want to go to the website, Illumin8ohio.com, and everything you want to know about us is on there. All our bios, all our classes are on there listed, our show dates. Something really important coming up to my heart is next month we're doing a food and clothing drive, and we donate that. Last year we had over $3,000 in food and clothing items. I don't even know how much, but we're doing that Saturday, November 16th, and it's from 10 to 6. And so for a $15 donation of food, you get a free reading or free Reiki for the same value. So 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
We
a
like,
great deal.
thank you. We'll be doing toys for kids in December, but these are passion projects for us.
Okay. So I know, so you're not going to like when I bring this up, but I know, and only because you're scared. So I know Illumin8 is a very sacred space, and it is. I spend time there. I do readings there. So I've done galleries there. I know Illumin8 has a healing. It's a healing space. There's nothing scary there. There's nothing negative there. Well, unless you're a scaredy cat like Patti, where if somebody sees a spirit walking through or something comes through on a REM pod, he goes running. But so Illumin8 does have its share of friendly ghosts that hang out. So do you want to talk about maybe an experience or two that you may have had there, Patti, or that somebody you know has shared with you? Because this is a paranormal podcast, so we got to talk a little bit about that. We talked about.
So I'm trying to think. I don't remember what his name was. You might remember, but when we did our paranormal investigation upstairs, his name came across and he was talking to us about how good looking he was and he was 30 and this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's that creepy guy that comes in the bathroom. Bad story, but it's true.
It's a good story.
And I could see his feet outside the door, just the shadow. And I'm here alone. And I'm like, okay, you need to leave. And so we told him to leave upstairs. And then we went in the back room. And if you remember, it was like a disco show back there. All the lights were going crazy. And he's just like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like,
Paula remembers the name was John. She says what she's asking, was it John? I think she's right. I think it was John.
And here's like, could you just not come in the bathroom anymore? But yeah. So yeah, that was probably my biggest personal one. And then hearing him call my name, Patti, when I was here alone, and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't hit the door fast enough.
About Mildred. Is it Mildred?
Oh, wait, who is it that lives upstairs?
I know.
Danielle, what's her name? Come over here. What's her name?
Is it coming from the spirits above? Where's that voice coming?
Yeah. Tell her she has to come on. Who is that upstairs? I forgot. Jenny told me her name.
Chris says it's Margaret.
Margaret
says it's Margaret. I think it's Margaret.
So as far as my story with Margaret is that I actually saw Margaret on the cameras here. And Christine was setting up for a class. There you go.
That's Danielle, everyone.
I really thought that Christine had a friend here helping her. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to rush and get there. She's got help. And I saw the woman walking down the hallway on the camera. She had short blonde hair. I get here and I'm like, Christine, where's your friend? And she's like, there's nobody here. I go to the camera, I look at it, and I'm like, there's nothing on the tape anymore. So it was very bizarre. So Jenny came in and Jenny's like, she's up there talking a mile a minute to this person. And I guess this building, she actually at one time used to be a caretaker here. And she's thrilled that we're here. We did open the upstairs. So we do have a new room upstairs and we blessed it last week. And Margaret's happy that we're here. So she watches it. The people that are here are good people and they watch the place. I'm just.
You're just a scaredy cat.
Yes. This one loves it.
Yeah. Well, there's this temptation in me, but to be a responsible paranormal investigator, I shouldn't go around just scaring you. But there's this temptation in me to do so when I'm there. So like to walk past the bathroom and pretend like nobody's there, stick my hands underneath or something like that.
Daddy.
I did have my own experiences. There one through the investigation class where we investigate, we do the intro and then investigate Illumin8. But when I came to do a reading one day, I walked into I haven't told you. Have I told you this story yet? I walked into Illumin8 and I opened the glass door, and then there's an internal door. That's a wooden door. That's key locked.
Yeah.
Well, I opened the door and saw the door closing halfway, then shutting. And I looked in the window, and there's a window you can actually view the building inside, and there was no one
No.
in the building. And that door is, you have to punch the key code in. So I didn't make it to the door in time. I'm like, how rude. The person didn't hold the door for me. But I realized there was nobody in the building, at least in the room, the main room. So I opened the door, and Ginny comes from the back. And I said, this is Ginny Van Leer, who does readings for Illumin8 as well. And she also appeared on our podcast. Go back and watch Ginny and
Debbie.
Patti. Sorry, what?
Debbie Knuth.
Yes, Debbie, together on our previous podcast. But she came walking out, and I asked her, did you just walk in the building? And she said, no, I've been in the back. She looked really confused. So somehow the door, and I went out, I tested it to see if it would pull the door back, things like that. And I can't explain why the door was half open when I walked into Illumin8.
Reading you. I'll tell you what, this is the truth. David put special hinges on that door so that the door slams shut, so that it opens. Yeah. So, and then it shut on a few people, and I said, well, I don't think that they were supposed to be here. I don't know.
Yeah, the gatekeeper. I
The
think is what we
gatekeeper,
said.
yeah,
We
the
named it.
gatekeeper watches the door. I
Oh,
can't, yeah.
interesting.
But see how it opened for you?
Yeah. Oh, Medium Chris also says that happened to her a couple days after that happened to me.
There you go. Greeting you.
Oh, there's Jenny. It was spooky. It was definitely spooky.
Jenny.
Hi, Jen.
Paula's inviting you to our investigation at we're going to Beale Manor in November. So she's inviting you to join us for the paranormal investigation.
I'm going. I got a ticket. You gonna come?
Geez. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll leave you. It's okay. We'll just put you in a dark room by yourself with headphones and a blindfold on for the Estes method. You'll be just fine.
I'll be fine.
You'll be okay.
I'll be okay. With
And Jenny's saying how it happened to her right before it closed for me. So we have 3 personal experiences. That's pretty interesting.
Well, I have to tease about Ginny because Ginny was here talking to Margaret in the back room. They're just having a full-blown conversation in the reader's room, and she didn't know David was there. And David was like, "Who the heck are you talking to back here?" Out of her. I'm like, I hope she screamed.
Oh, that's funny.
Mr. Illumin8.
Mr. Illumin8.
Yeah.
I love it.
Patty, Paula says she'll snuggle you if you get scared.
Aw.
Thank you.
Aw.
So Danielle joined us. That's Danielle Fitzgerald. She works with Susie on the Reiki share, and she does parts. She's part of the animal blessing and Reiki event that happens. And I'm forgetting something. Oh, this does she do the sound bath with you as well?
Yes.
And the sound bath as well. And she's very gifted. She's also a big part of Illumin8 maintaining its consistency and presence. So it does not go unnoticed.
Right?
Thank you.
So we appreciate your hard work.
Yeah. She's a good little manager.
This place just changed my life. I'm very grateful for Patti and Illumin8 and everybody that's part of it. It's been a journey. And you, Irene, of course.
Of course.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I mean, same thing. I feel the same way about Illumin8 and everyone, all of you there. So it's had a great impact on my life, on our lives, Danica's life, and it's got its part spooky, part paranormal. It's got its mediumship, and it's got its health and wellness and healing. I mean, for me, it's like the trifecta. It's the perfect storm of fun. So, it's a great time, and there's so many opportunities for people to take part. And I do want to bring up, I know this is like something a little more serious and we've been, being funny, but before we go, I do want to talk about how, you mentioned, helping people with dementia and special needs,
Mhm.
and for me, I think, those are like, especially dementia, that's devastating, not just for the person, but for the family. So could you talk a little bit more about how Reiki and how the type of work that you do helps to that level, to that extent?
Sure. So with people that have issues like that, we're not allowed to put our hands on them. So what we do is it's a technique called beaming, where we're sending the energy through our hands. We found in the studies that about 5 o'clock for dementia patients is when sundowner starts to set in. So we were able to beam them Reiki and calm them down. I myself worked for a handful of years in orthodontia, and we had special need children that needed braces for various reasons. And they would come in, and my boss would be, hey, could you come and sit in the chair? So I would sit in a chair next to the child and sit and beam Reiki to them just to kind of calm them down, always with the parents' permission, of course. And it made a big difference for them.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Um, so, you know, I just lost my train of thought. That's amazing. I can't, I'm quiet now. So let's see. Okay. So the one thing that I've noticed a lot is, that people with certain types of, so if I'm doing a reading, let me just kind of backtrack. If I'm doing a reading, I'll sometimes pick up family members that have Alzheimer's as if they're in spirit, because they're kind of like in this in between. And
Okay.
so, but they're not really able to truly communicate in the way that their family needs. And so we pick up as mediums that type of information, that type of spiritual energy. How do you feel? Do you feel that that can happen? That people with Alzheimer's, dementia, or they even say autistic children connect or closer with spirit. How do you feel, or what are your thoughts on that?
I myself personally had an experience with that with my aunt, who I took care of with her dementia. And I actually went to one of my mediums, and she told me all kinds of things. And absolutely, my aunt knew I was taking care of her. She knew the things that were going on. She was on the other side. It was like she had one foot there and one foot here. And it is true. They do hear you. They know what's going on. I believe that to be as well with people in coma. They hear you.
Yes.
On. Absolutely. And I think that special needs are just special people. They're just more special. What your opinion?
There's many beliefs that autistic traits come from the Pleiadians, which are an extraterrestrial kind of guide. Archangel Michael, that's all Pleiadian. And they say that autistic children are the most gifted on this planet.
That's wonderful. So for me, I see them, I see them as not being inhibited
Mm-hmm.
Right.
by this world. They're freer, they're more connected. Just like a child would be, it's not the exact same thing, but just like a child is freer and more connected and more open to spirit and not bogged down by a system and expectations and beliefs. They're allowed, they connect with spirit more openly. And so I think that's a beautiful thing. I think the fact that Illumin8 and all of you recognize that too, and it shows also your ability to connect and empathize, and your Susie's medical background helps with that too, and that understanding as well. So it I think a lot of I thinks, but I think you're very responsible in your approach to everybody that walks in the door. And if you can just kind of give us, we're getting close to the end of our show, but we have a few more minutes. But I want, maybe when somebody walks in the door at Illumin8, or walks into, you can bring up both of them separately, or walks into the door generally of Illumin8, what should they expect? What will they see? what should they ask or look for?
You want to say something?
When anybody comes in, I feel like anybody that's here is warm and welcoming. We make sure that you know where the bathroom is, that there's coffee, water in the back room. We give you a tour, especially if it's your first time. And it's almost like you can kind of see everybody take a breath of fresh air when they walk through the door,
Right.
which makes you take a breath of fresh air because you're just so grateful to be here.
And they stay forever.
And they
Yeah.
stay, yes.
Leave.
Turn the lights off so that people will leave and go,
Unless Mr. Illuminate's here.
yes,
Yeah.
right,
Lights.
yes, yes. But it's just
What do you
very
think?
warm and inviting.
Yeah, like Danielle said, I think as soon as they come into the door, they just feel this sense of peace. They just feel
Yeah.
connected and they feel welcomed.
That's awesome. So if somebody wants to get a reading or massage or Reiki healing, other than the events that are going on at Illuminate, how can they reach out and connect?
Definitely on the website, illuminateohio.com. And there is a drop-down bar for the readers that they can contact them for a reading. It comes right to me in an email. There's also a general box that they can send to me and ask me questions about anything. As far as connecting them with a practitioner, I do that as well. I give them their phone numbers, and then the practitioner and the client, they schedule together.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, and Illuminate, did we talk about this already? Did you mention the Illuminate Facebook group or just the Decide to Be Well?
So it's Illuminate Your Life Group, and that's the name of it. So go on, like and follow, and you'll find all kinds of great things. I mean, it's not just me posting on there. There's a lot of other people. It's very inspiring.
And as you can see in the banner below, it's Illumin8, the number 8, Your Life group. So if you're looking on Facebook or on online, thanks, Olivia. She wrote it out for us. Illuminate Your Life group.
Did I tell you the story how I came up with the name? I love this.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yes, share.
So I was driving to work and I was racking my brain trying to think of what I was going to call my business. And I sat there at a four-way stop and I'm like, God, can you just give me a hint? And there was this huge electric truck sitting there. And I looked at it and I go, Illuminate, you're an idiot. But you got to make it cool. It can't just be Illuminate. It's got to that number. So I put that in, and then it was the infinity, and it's a good luck number, and yeah, it's special.
So in case anybody's wondering, the electric company that she's talking about is Illuminating Company.
Yes.
So that's where she
Illuminating Company. What are you trying to do? Well, mind, body, and soul. It just made perfect sense. It was an aha moment.
Boom.
That's a great story to end on. It's been a pleasure to talk with you as always. I'm glad that Danielle joined us, jumped on.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing, the things that are going on, your experiences, your background, so people can, understand that they're not just walking into, almost like a store or, some place that's trying to sell you something. They're walking into a wellness center, a place that wants to bring healing, and it takes it seriously and is responsible in bringing that healing to the community around them. And, also I should mention in the Facebook group, you also have people doing readings, doing video readings and things like that, posting them on there and giving their, their thoughts as well. Not just, not that it's not wonderful, the information that's being shared. There's also people jumping on from your group that are doing the mediumship type things and tarot. If we can get more, maybe I should jump on too. I haven't I haven't been on. I should jump on as well.
Goddess readings once a month, the beginning of the month, and Olivia's, I think, what is she, every week now?
Yeah, every week.
Every week doing tarot.
Did you just say Jeanette was, because Jeanette posted? Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you all very much. Oh, there's Olivia. Her readings. Thank you, Olivia, for jumping on.
Thank you. Whoever came on, thank you.
Yes, thank you for everybody for joining us, providing some input, sharing, being funny with us. It was great, and it was great talking and joking and calling Patti a scaredy cat. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. He's a scaredy cat.
I see him and be scared.
Well, I look forward to Illumin8 expanding and reaching more people, and just keeping on doing the good stuff, because that's what matters. That's the most important thing. And you've helped me in my life, changed my life, and everybody that's been a part of it. And so we appreciate you. And I'm sure the people that have jumped on, they've proven they appreciate you as well. And I hope that the rest of the world can see that. And also, maybe somebody wants to come and investigate Illumin8 for a few minutes. And
Love you, Irene.
Love you so much.
Love you too. Thank you for joining. And everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We were talking with Illumin8Ohio.com, Patti, Susie, and Danielle. And JD could not be here tonight. He had an unexpected occurrence happen. So he definitely said he would miss out. And I'm sure he misses everybody here from our normal podcast schedule. I look forward to seeing you all next week. And please if you didn't catch the live stream, if you joined us late, please jump on and find us. We'll be reposting the lives through social media. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for joining.